So let's talk about the big data. What exactly the big data solution, and what exactly so if we talk about the big data in IT industry is one of the emerging and demanding technology. Most of the companies are working today, and there are good requirement as well. So it's a fair time, fair for everyone being a being a IT industry or non-technical people also looking to get into IT industry with the big data. So a person who is having developer or admin analytics architecture, everyone have the fair and equal opportunity to work with the big data technology. So before that, we just understand what exactly the challenges we are facing in real time, what exactly the traditional technology what we are using, we have the problem, and how as per the business model in an industry, what the expectation of the client from the infra for like the team which they're doing the maintenance and support. So let's talk about first thing. uh, I'm having a, let's say, one of my client is working uh, in online banking. It's in banking, right? Let's not talk about the bank, online banking. Let's talk about the banking. Okay. So, and generally, if we talk about the banking domain, they are working with the uh, Oracle database. And if we talk about the Oracle database, what exactly they take care of all the data of mine, what are the customer transaction details, everything is stored in there in a proper structured, organized way. So they create the table, define the schema, and store my data in, so that my bank staff can access this, and they get the UI and they're coordinating with the customer. So this is what all the normal process we have. So you might be noticed that now the last couple of years, every service is coming into online, right? Every business is coming into online. So yes, I'm talking about the application, online app, which we and you're using every day. It's a B2C, and yep, every customer, every being a user, it save your time and money. If you talk about it, by you're using the application, it save your time and money. But what exactly the agenda to design this kind of model? Okay, why they're giving the free services on the apps which you're using when they're not charging anything about the maintenance of apps, right? So when you download the app, you might be noticed they insist you to share your data, your mobile phone number, or your location, your data, your images, means all what your clicks, all they're monitoring at the back end. So instead of taking the money, they are taking your data, and it's a big impact. How? So this is the new model what we have, volume to value. If we talk about, right, a volume to value. What is the volume to value? Mainly in IT industry, they are asking the data for the customer. They're doing all the analytics at the back end. Okay, so if they have a good analytics of the data, they can pitch to the customer. They can target. They are just simply targeting the customer as per the customer requirement. So they want to understand the human behavior, the nature of the customer, what exactly the requirement. They keep targeting, and because they are 24/7, they are taking your data. All right, so it's very easy way to target the customer, and it's not wait for the customer. Let hit the customer to understand, to give the some better service in terms of money and time. And this is how we are being getting control from this apps. Very simple. Means nowadays we are waiting for the sales. We are waiting not as per our requirement. We are waiting as per the market requirement. We are looking to purchase the products. Okay, so this is all the model. So I see that my client is taking that. Okay, this is taking a big advantage in IT industry, and the reason, if we do not have this online services to my customer, we are losing the customer. So what we want to follow the same. We want to launch in one app, and we'll reach this service to the customer too. Right. So let's say we have more than 2 lakh, 2.5 lakhs customer. Okay, we have a 2.5 lakh customer, and this customer we are if we give this app, means 2.5 lakh customer, 24/7 you are monitoring and you're targeting the data. So we'll talk about, all right, so we want the infra for this model. You got it? We'll ask the customer, we want the infra for this model. So the customer, the the technical team will say, okay, so 2.5 lakhs is a big huge number, and 24/7 data you're monitoring, and you're filtering the data, you're getting the data from the customer. So what exactly the volume you're expecting per day from the customer? So I'm expecting 10 plus TB data per day. And that is the question. Now the question is, this business model fit for this technology? That's the first question. So it's a no, that will not work, because in production in RDBMS, a table size not more than, they store it in a GB, and you're talking about in terabyte, and it is coming every day. So how it is possible, right? So that is what the first challenge means. The business model that does really support the compatibility we have with this kind of infra. If not, then what we have the solution. Okay, not only the volume, that is the second thing is variety. Means 80% of data which I'm getting, it's unstructured. Means you're pulling the live data from the mobile phone, audio, video, images, logs, text, anything which is completely unstructured. And if you're talking about RDBMS, means it is what, it's specially designed for the structured data. All right, it's specially designed for the structured data. 110%. Even a single schema mismatch, it will get an exception. And you're talking about 80% is the unstructured data. So that is the second challenge. And the third and very important, the velocity. The data rate is very, very high. And as per the data rate, you have to give the service to the customer. Means I'm talking about clicks which we are doing on your mobile phone. Means let's for an example, what is velocity here? You're using the Ola, Uber, Book My Show, Make My Trip. This is all the apps you're using. Let's talk about a one cab service. Let's say it is getting 22,000 clicks per second, for example. It's not whenever you are using the app, you are doing the purchase. Sometimes, many times we keep clicking, and sometimes we purchase. We book the service or we order something, right? So let's say keep per second 22,000 clicks per second I'm getting on my app. Okay, and this, let's assume 10% people are looking for the service. You got it? 10% people are looking for the service. So 22,000, 10% is what? 2,200. Means 2,200 per second we are getting the request to cap the books, and we have to make it available, right? Means per second, if it's 2,200 clicks you are getting per second. So what is, you have to give the service. So this is what the velocity. And what is the customer expectation? Within 5 to 10 seconds, if the driver details not come, they will switch to another another app. So this is what the expectation. So today's the question is not the service, today's the question is the fast service. All right, so how you're going to help me with this all the model? So it is next to impossible. Means it's very challenging to handle this kind of 3V. When 3V, technically it is what called big data. Okay, so this is not a normal data, it's a big data. Okay, it's not a normal data, it's a big data. And for this big data, you have to find out a better solution, better technology, which can give you this kind of response. Okay, so the client is expecting, give me the big data solution, because I don't want to compromise the business because of we don't have the compatible infra for this. So what do you have the big data solution that we are discussing today? The next challenge is, from where we are generating this huge amount of data. So we will talk about something into real time today. Okay, let me show you something in real time. What infra we are using to get something. Just to see something here interesting. There's something in real time, and social media is one of the best platforms from where we are generating a huge amount of data. You can say it's in real time. You can try it from your end as well. It's real time, and number of users. I believe you guys are familiar with this. So this is what technically it is all called click stream. What is called click stream? So click stream is nothing, means a number of clicks I'm getting. So you see here, what the first thing, volume. So Facebook generating 10 plus TB data. Okay, the second is the variety. Social media is what, simply drag and drop. It's more into unstructured data. And the third and very important, number of clicks per second. So 7.5 million clicks per second, on average, you can say. You see here, this is all the category. Okay. So ultimately, we all are using the big data application. Your Ola, Uber, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Book My Show, Make My Trip, and many apps which actually we are using every day. Swiggy, Zomato, X, right? So it's nothing. It's all of the big data application, because the motto is same: volume, variety, and velocity to generate this and to fulfill the customer requirement. So let me show you something interesting. One infra. Okay. So okay. So see here, this is what one of infra means. It's a Uber app. What exactly in Uber app? You download the app, then just, and there's a condition nowadays. Without that, you cannot download the app. So they ask you to share your data. So how they pull your live data from your mobile phone? That they're using the tool that is called Kafka. Kafka is a streaming tool. Okay. So through the Kafka, they're pulling your live data on your mobile phone. They're pulling the live data streaming, and they're storing this data on a Hadoop platform. All right. Storing this data on a Hadoop platform. On from this Hadoop, they start doing the data processing as per the requirement. So they're using the Vertica MPP tool, massive parallel processing. We can replace this tool from Spark. Okay, it's a licensed tool, so we can replace from the Spark with Python, Spark with Scalar. Okay, there's all the things, and we start doing the data processing as per the customer, as per the business requirement, and we'll do all the report. The best thing is what the data scientist as well can use this infra. They can be connected from this. So at the end of the day, then the data science also need the more data, more data. The more data you get it, the more accurate result they get. So they can get connected from their application on with the Hadoop as well. And you're sending the reports, so we have our dashboard, right? Kind of, you're getting the notification on your app. This is the notification. So this is all this, the infra. This is all the technologies. This is the latest technologies specially designed for the big data. Okay. So yep, if you're targeting a big data, you cannot work with this traditional technology. The technology which we are using today is all about Hadoop, Spark. Okay. So these are the solution we have. So we'll first talk about the Hadoop, then we'll move to the Spark part. So if we talk about Hadoop as a big data solution, it is a framework, and which have the two components: HDFS, Hadoop having its own database, Hadoop distributed file system, and the MapReduce, which help you to process the data. Okay, so we'll talk about this part. Okay, so what they do, they get the approval, they means they're satisfied. Now they start migrating data from RDNs to Hadoop. This is how, why the Hadoop is coming in the picture, because the project entirely moved to the Hadoop, and once they're using a ETL tool that is called Scoop. It's a Hadoop ETL tool. It's a Scoop. If you have an Informatica, the best thing, I'm having the setup that is called Cloudera. Okay, enterprise level companies are using the same. It's open source. So in this, I have all the. I will show you all the infra what I'm using here. Okay, so if you have means alternative ETL tool, you can use the Informatica data stage. But these are the license tool. If you have, you can integrate with this and you can work. But right now we are more focused on Hadoop ecosystem. So it all come under the Hadoop ecosystem ETL tool Scoop. So I'm using here. I'll just show you. This is the setup I'm having. This is called Cloudera. Cloudera is nothing. It's a monitoring tool through which you can check all the infra. You can check the health of the cluster. It's working properly or not. So let me show you. It's taking time. So this is the Cloudera Manager. It's a monitoring tool to check the health of the cluster. And the second thing is a Hue. This is for the developer. Like you see the MySQL workbench is here, which is quite interactive, easy to work. So we have the same kind of structure there. So see here, there's all the tools. We can check the health. The green button say health is good. If something goes wrong, it says a bad health. Okay. We have HDFS. We have many things are there. We'll go one. You see that here we have scoop. Scoop is there as well. Okay. So we'll go one by one. All right, so through this data, they're migrating to audience to Hadoop. Once data comes to Hadoop, of course, they need the skill, the people working there should have a fair understanding about Hadoop, and that is the reason you guys are learning today Hadoop and Spark, because the project required this kind of requirement. The person should have this kind of set of skills. All right, so what exactly we have Hadoop? Hadoop have the two components. One is a database and data processing. Like in we have Oracle, we store data, and then data processing we use a SQL data storage and data processing tool. So Hadoop having their own component, HDFS, which store the data, and data processing what we have MapReduce. Let's start from the MapReduce part. If you talk about the MapReduce, it's nothing. Look, the first it is nothing that Hadoop is the first big data technology. Or the world first big data technology was Google search engine itself, and there's all the things you can see. It has been derived from the Google itself. So Google having the GFS, Google file system, they drive that is called SDFS, and MapReduce itself is a Google algorithm too. We are using the same here. What is the MapReduce? What exactly how it works? So you see here. If you're from the coding background, you might be in Java or something. There's a hash map which works on key value process. Okay, hash map and hash table. So we are using the same concept here. Key value. What is the key value here? So how the Google work with this key value? Let's say you're looking for some training, like Hadoop training. All right. Whatever you write on the browser, it's called key. Right. Whatever you write on the browser in a single letter, single word, multiple word, it's called key. And related to this key, what are the values you are getting? What are the result you are getting? You see here. You're getting n number of results. It's called value. How many values you are getting? You're getting more than 2 crore 66 lakhs, I guess. Whoa. And this is all coming on the multiple pages. You see, this all are coming on the multiple pages. All right. So you can see this how exactly, and of course the result is coming from the first page, no doubt. So we are getting, so this is called something digital marketing to come on the first page. You see that we are positioned here. To come on the first page, there is a digital marketing are working onto that. They understand the Google algorithm based on that. They keep working to get the website on the first page on top 5 position so that they can get the leads. Anyways, so this is what the MapReduce works. If you're looking from the MapReduce perspective, you should have fair understanding of Java, because it's MapReduce completing a good knowledge of Java. But let's say Java nowadays, the demand is of shell scripting, less coding. Java means it's okay. Most of the framework we have in the Java, but nowadays the people are moving towards the less coding, more optimized code way. So, and if you're not into Java coding background, and if you're looking to not write the code into Java, then what we have the alternative? The question is, do we have any alternative for this? So I will say yes, we have the alternative, that is called Pig. I told you that Hadoop having the ecosystem, and I mentioned before that was you have the fair and equal opportunity to work with your language, what you know. If you know the Java, if you know the SQL, if you know the Python, any programming language, you can integrate and can start working. What the best thing is right now, as per the market standard, we have one thing is called Pig. It's a shell scripting tool. It's a product of Yahoo, and if you're not comfortable to work with MapReduce, you can go with the Pig. How it works? Let's do some practical. So if we talk about EVM electronic voting machine, guys, hope you remember means long back when the voting is all over, election is over, then it takes 5 to 6 days for the counting, right? And sometimes there's some scam is there as well. Nowadays what we have, EVM machine, which give the result in within couple of hours in a day. How it works? Okay, we'll do this practical on our setup. So as I mentioned that we have the setup. Let me show you. This is my database. User just okay. Remember this path, user Cloudera. It's taking time. Okay, this is the path where I have my all the data stored. Okay, so what I will do, I will show you one quick demo of POC what we discussed. All right, let me just open the terminal. Okay, this is the CentOS, guys. It's a Hadoop is a Linux interface, so it's a predefined cluster. Okay, so what I will do, I'm having on my local machine, having one file, EVM, electronic voting machine file, means a dump data. So what I will do, I will store this data on HDFS, and then I will count the vote. Right, you see that. I will count the vote, which party having what the number of votes, right? So I will, this is on my local machine, I will store this data on HDFS, and then I will do the data processing using the MapReduce. Of course, the Java code will be there. I'm having this code in terms of jar file, and then I will do the same job again, count the vote again using Pig. Means one job, one counting, but two different applications. Then we'll see the statistic, how much time, the code size, the performance, everything will check that. Okay, so all right, so store this data, Hadoop FS -put. I will drag and drop. I will give the path of my file. Okay, this is my file. I want to store on HDFS. So in HDFS, where you want to store? Remember, I have given the path to user Cloudera, and EVM is already. So it will say the file already exists. So I will rename the file name Vaccine 2. Remember this file name? All right, file got stored, and let's see. Vaccine 2. You see here, the file is there, and my data stored. What next? Okay, so what next? I will count this vote using the MapReduce. Then the third is Pig. So I'm having this code in terms of Java file. Let me show you. std user lib. All right, so this is the jar file. I will write it. So I will type it Hadoop jar. Okay, sorry, Hadoop jar, and which jar file you want to use, write it. Hadoop -example. Okay, and this jar file having the class name, and that is called word count. It's all inside the jar file, word count. So this jar file you want to implement on which file? Vaccine 2, which is stored on HDFS, right? So in HDFS where? User Cloudera. So you're saying that, hey, run this jar file on my input file, which is stored on HDFS, and give me the output. So it will say where you want output. So even output will store on HDFS. So if anything, you are saying that come on HDFS, you have to define the path where you want in HDFS. User Cloudera and v2. So this directory actually will create automatically, and output will store in this file, in this directory inside HDFS on this path. Let's see. So you see that there's a MapReduce. It's taking time. No, the result is here. Now you can go and check the output. CoV, this is right, CoV2. And here we have the output. Okay. BJP, Congress, JDU, RJD, and all. See, result is coming. How much time it taken to run this job? You'll see that as well. So every job which you run, it will create a job ID. It's a little slow. You see, every job we created, all the information taken 45 seconds, and rest of the information, what the resource and everything is all written there. And we'll start the session. We'll discuss more about this, what exactly it is. Okay. So yeah, now this time, this is Java. So now we'll do the same job now using Pig. There's a Pig code. Okay, see here, simple code, a simple 3 lines of data transformation, covaxin 2, right? And I will save this file, and this is the script file. I will run this code. It's a shell scripting, so you have to get into a shell first. And I will execute this exec home crawler. I given this path. Remember that script file should be always .pig extension. Right. So you see that same output we have. This now you can go and check this time frame. Go back. I told you that every job it create a one job ID. So see here from Pig it created a job ID. You can go and check it. 35-second code size less. Right. All right. So you have option. There's nothing that something mandatory. You have all the option, but yes, you have to learn well to develop this skill. Next is what? Okay, what we have. Okay, so now mainly IT people are moving, right? So let's say this entire team moving to this Hadoop. So then say that look, my perspective, my understanding of data to see in a table in a schema format, right? Writing SQL query. This is what we understand the data and to data processing. So do we have that kind of environment in the same in Hadoop? So it's a yes, we have, which is specially designed for the structured data. and that is known as Hive. Hive is product of Facebook. It's called the sequel of Hadoop. And people mainly into IT industry working with this Oracle SQL, that's the best. That's a good to learn to work with that. So Hive is what? It's nothing. It's a product of Facebook, and it's specially designed for the structured data. We use HQL, Hive Query Language. Okay. Uh, okay. So how exactly Hive? Let me come out from this. So I'm having Hive shell we have. I'll show you the quick demo and the command as well, and then we'll show you how Facebook rework Hive in real time. So this, you see that all the codes, create table, define the schema, XYZ, all you have, right? Everything. Once if you have worked with SQL, I believe you're much familiar with this. Okay, let me run some commands for Hive. But the only condition is that data should be structured. Show databases. Okay, use, I will run the same job from Hue. Just understand this. Show tables, how easy to work with Hue. Okay, I'm having this all the tables records with here, but I want to see the select star from table txnreco records. How the data look like? So see the data. Now you might be thinking that you said something structured, but I can see this data is a simple file system format, right? So yeah, because Hive itself taking the storage of HDFS, the backend, and SDF is nothing, it's a file system format. But then how it look like? So I will show the same thing, same commands in table I will run onto you, and I will show you data in table format. First, let me show you the data. This is how um, I'm getting from HDFS and Hive. Let me show you first. So this is a user. This is Hive. Excellent, right? See that this is how the data look like in HDFS. But then how it is structured data. I'll show you the structure. There's a front-end developer users tool here. Okay, so Hive. So I will select the data. Okay, and I will directly run the command select. You see that? Make sense? Okay, so this is what your structured data in a table format. So that is the reason the front-end developer use the U to work with this. All right. So this part is all about Hive, and as I told you that something interesting about Hive you can see in real time how Facebook use Hive. Let me show you. Uh, so let me go to the Facebook page. So see here. Okay, this is my Facebook page, and you know that every business having the social media page and working. So there are a number of posts we are having. Recently, they changed this inbox event insight, right? Where's that post option? Suddenly they changed the theme. That's interesting. Yeah, posts. It's taking time. I don't know. Yeah. So see that you might be notice on our Facebook pages you are getting number of post, and people are you go and like the post. You're being targeted sometimes as well. This is how they design the pattern. This technically called digital marketing. And so Instagram, you're getting multiple notification, right? So that is completely called paid marketing. So this paid marketing, what all we pay to the Facebook to reach to the genuine customer, to generate the leads and the brand, that you understand. But how, what all the activities? So Facebook give me the complete insight to understand my page activity. So see here, the number of likes, complete. It's a little slow. Oh, okay. Number of people reach, page views. All right. Post event, and they even track your IP address from where we are being. I have all this information, okay, where people are coming from, which location. So I can take a decision where I should invest more money, where I should get a target, where my brand is more popular, where the people are more familiar with this kind of product. Okay. So this is all this report Facebook generating using Hive only. This all complete report. This is the uh, front end. They are using the UI, but there's all the inside Facebook report use Hive completely. And you see that if you learn Hive, if you have this Hadoop, I can give you the real-time data of my what in Excel CSV format. You can get this data and you can do your own analytics. That's pretty easy. So, yep, that all you can do it. All right. So this is the interesting part and something you're learning today, and you're implementing which application you are actually using all over Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. You know all the activities. It's been more than 5 years. We all are into this. We know all the features, but it's interesting at the back end how it works. So it's a high time to, yep, something which your idea, creativity, you can implement with this tool and do something interesting with this, some sort of data which we have in real time. And nowadays the Kaggle is a data sets. Kaggle is a platform where we have real-time data sets available. Anything which you want, healthcare, banking, retail, telecommunication, any domain data are available. You can go get it easily and work onto that. Now, so let's talk about the limitation about Hadoop. What is the limitation? Okay, it sounds good, it looks good, there's all the application, it's all the implementation on this platform, but there are certain limitation of Hadoop. Hadoop does not support real time. It's good for the batch processing. Now you talk about what exactly real time or what is the batch processing. So let me show you. uh, it's moving. So something is okay. Oh my god. So something is okay. I show you the one social media page, right? Hmm, something is okay. I talk about real time. What exactly the real time? Like Ola, Uber, Make My Trip, Book My Show. When you order, you get a quick notification. That is called near real time. What is called near real time? Or as soon you click, you get the quick response. So that is all about real time or near real time. But if you do the same job from Hadoop, Hadoop will say no. At least I will take minimum, means at least 1 hour or couple of hours I will gain. I can give you the result. I cannot give you the result in quick. Where is okay, so let me, if I say guys, this is what my website, and you give me the number of clicks per second I'm getting, right? So you have learned, okay, this is all the big data applications, you can use the MapReduce Pig and Hive. No, not possible, because these tools are only designed for the batch processing. You cannot work with the real time. You cannot work with the real time. So you'll say no, I cannot help you and to give the number of clicks per second. I can give me minimum 1 hour. So that is what is good for, this is what batch processing, 1 hour, 1 day, 1 week, all it work, but it's good for the batch processing, not for the real time. So the industry will say that okay, then what to do with the real time then? When, so you say that yeah, this is the Hadoop and it's a limitation, but no project work without real time. So you have to give them some solution. So that is the reason they start finding the solution and they come to know about Spark. How Spark comes in the picture? Now the interesting part is what Spark is a framework which is written in Scala. You can use it by with Python and Java as well. So now the question was, no, Spark can perform real-time and batch processing both. But what now? Hadoop data already we have migrated. Now what? Is Hadoop over? Should I migrate data to Spark? It's a no. It's not that easy because data is already into HDFS. So we move the data from Oracle to HDFS. Now what? HDFS to Spark? So say no. Let's integrate Spark with Hadoop and let's Spark access the database. Right. Uh, in Hadoop, we have actually the two database. One is the HBase. It's external database of Hadoop. Okay. So it said that let's connect Spark. Let give the access of database to Spark, and somewhere you can replace the MapReduce from Spark. Now MapReduce is completely isolated, so you can work with Spark. So this is how now the dependency on both. To learn Spark, you should know the Hadoop. To know Hadoop, you should know the Spark. So this is the industry is asking for both. You cannot go directly and say that I know that Spark, and so what is the connectivity of that? So how you can access the database? So you should know the database. What exactly database you have? So database is this, and you should know the architecture of this, how it works. Without knowing that, if you want to work with, you never know what is happening then. Too many dependencies there. Okay, so that is how Hadoop and Spark now become a biggest platform for the big data solution. Under the Spark, you can do the batch processing in real time. But now what happened? Slowly and gradually, Spark is having their own ecosystem. So slowly and gradually, let me open the Spark as well. Let me stop this. I'll show you some example on Spark as well. So take some time to close this. So what happened here? What now? Hadoop now more focused for the database storage. All the ecosystem Hive and Pig is being replaced from the Spark ecosystem. Let me show you. So what do you have? Hadoop ecosystem, Spark ecosystem. Hadoop having two database, Spark does not having database. Okay, that's fine. So it's dependency of Spark on Hadoop database. We have MapReduce, which is Java. Let's say that you write complete code of Java. You have a shell scripting pig. Let's say that I'm giving the better option, Scala and Python. You can use a shell scripting. Let's say that to process structured data, I'm having Hive. Let's say that I'm giving you Spark SQL. It is 100 times faster than Hive. So what we are doing right now, what are the project which is already working with the Hive database, they're giving the table access to the Spark SQL. Even they are not wasting the time to migration of data to this and that. Even a Spark SQL can create a table and store all this thing. But why should I waste my time to making this? So directly give me the access of this table. All right, I can do all the job. So, and I can give you the much faster result. That is called Spark SQL. It's 100 times faster. Okay, will show all this demo. Let me back and start Spark as well. Okay. All right. So Flume is for the streaming purpose. If you are pulling the live data, so we are using the Flume. But here has Spark having their own its own having Spark streaming. But nowadays the Kafka is more demand. So Kafka become a regular ecosystem of Spark itself. For data scientists, I told you that even data scientists can work onto this platform. So they were using Mahout for DS data scientists. Now it's said that I'm having Spark ML Lib, machine learning library, which is much faster than this. So you can see that. Means here you have Hadoop and HBase, all the things. Only the thing is the database, rest thing is being replaced. But again, you cannot ignore this. You cannot skip this because they are directly accessing the Hive table. So you should know what exactly Hive, how it works, and what is the limitation of this part. Then you can get a better solution of the Spark SQL. All right. One more dependency is what yarn. The complete configuration, troubleshooting, monitor, all this thing of Spark is being taken care by the yarn. So that is the reason I said key up. You have to be balanced. You have to balance both the things. So you'll get the better clarity about this. Okay. So this is my Spark. Let me open the terminal. So Spark, as I mentioned, that Spark is written in Scala, and you can do it by using the Python. You can do it by what do you say, Java as well. Uh, Spark is good for both batch processing. You can work with the real time. Now I told you the 1.7 million clicks per second. So now we are not into big data. We have reached to the next level. It's called fast data. Okay, it's called what? Fast data. So if you're handling, because 1.7 million clicks, 22,000 clicks per second is not the big data. It's called the fast data. And if you're handling with the big data, then you can go with the Hadoop. But if you're talking about fast data, then Hadoop even it's not sufficient. So that to deal with the fast data, we have a technology that is called Spark. Spark, and let's see some job. So here we have Spark. Sure. So this is the latest version in there. If you want to run the Spark with Python, then you have to write the PySpark. Okay. Okay. So I believe you guys know some basic concept of OOPS concept. It's a combination of function and OOPS concept, is Scala. Right. Scala, the name itself given scalability. All right. So we are using the same here. You can see that I'll show you the UI part first. Okay, quick demo for this. So Spark 2.3.1, it has been upgraded. Java 1.8 it support only backend, and this is the I'm running on local machine, so it's being local written there. I show the UI part of this. It's running how. See, this is the UI through which you can go and check it. Either you run on the cloud, or I'm showing on the standalone, so you'll get a more clarity about the Spark. So this executor. So when we will learn about these things, we'll get a clear idea about what exactly Spark, how it works. Okay. So I believe if you're from any programming, you might we follow the OOPS concept, right? How to define. The best thing about Scalar does not define any data type. Okay, you can see here. If you have to, there's a var or val where let's say there's a two parameter we have val let's say I'm having a project of what do you say project passport, right, where I'm maintaining the passport data. Passport is what, once the passport ID has been assigned to you, you're not allowed to make any changes. So if you think it's mutable, then you can use the val. Means later you want to change the value, you cannot. So I'm writing passport. I'm getting the quick demo. Let's say number is this. You see that I have not defined the data type. Inference is the property from where it takes the data type automatically from backend itself. Okay, so now later in this scalar we do not define the data type. Type inference is the property which take that by default data type. So passport, I want to later you want to change it. It will say no, not possible because reassignment won't allow. It's immutable. That's valid. But something which you think it can be changed. So in your details, you're saying that okay, passport number, your name, your mail ID, right? Mail ID, your mobile number can be changed. So you make it variable, your mobile number. So mobile is equal to this. You see that again. You take the data type integer. So now I change the mobile number. You say that my number has been changed. So please help me to change this number. So okay, what is the number? It changed. But the limitation of var is what? The scope of data type should be the same. I have defined, when you define this mobile number integer, it should be the integer. If I change the number with any other data type mobile, it will say string has not been possible, required what, integer. So this is the limitation of your scalar what you have. Okay, rest thing is same. You have to learn the syntax first, the concept of OOPS concept, what you have done. We will do how to define the class, if else condition, loop condition, nested loop, uh, uh, you have concatenation. The logic excuse me, the logic will remain the same, but the syntax and the limitation that in this programming language you have to understand. Some more jobs, if else condition. So it's very easy. 100 lines of the code, you can replace it. Let's say in Java, if you have to define a one variable, you have to define the class, you have to raise parentheses, right? Define the variable name, then close this, then print, and all the things. Here, a single line statement can give you that job. So 10 lines of the code can you write in a single line statement. So that is the reason nowadays the scripting is much better. Sorry. Okay. Value, okay, x is not defined, my mistake. I have to define this as well. Okay, then I should write this. All right, so you see that return type and everything is coming properly and giving you the fair idea how exactly it works with the scalar. We'll talk about more about the Kafka as well. Let me just open. So we'll have a quick demo on the Kafka. Kafka is a streaming tool. Just now we discussed in beginning, Uber is using the Kafka for data streaming fetching. So I'll show you something. All right. So what is demo all about Kafka? Mm, mm, Okay. So see, generally what happened, Kafka actually it is a messaging queue. It was not a streaming tool, but now being find that much flexibility in the streaming, so now it is being used as a streaming purpose. But it wasn't a streaming, it was a messaging queue. What exactly the messaging queue and the ordinary messaging queue, the challenges we are facing? Let's say key sender and receiver. Let's understand in this term. Sender and receiver. Let's say sender send you message one, receiver receive this message one, this message two, you receive the message two. I'm talking about like e-commerce website where they have still sending you the notification of your delivery through the messages notification, right? And think about it, what the challenges they face if such things come. So let's say you get the notification from the center, or let's say from e-commerce, yes, your order has been done successfully. You get the notification, it's get shipped today, and the moment they send you the message tree, today your delivery will be at this time. This is how you're getting, right? For example, there's something partial failure that happened. Partial failure means you send this message, but the receiver not receive this message. Maybe the signal down on a network failure. If it happened, right? What now? You get the phone message. The delivery boy is on your door, is in front of your door. So please come and pick up. And you're surprised. Wow. So you call to that and say that I'm not been there. I did not get this because this partial failure did not receive this message. So in that case, what? Of course, it's not more loss for the receiver if it's not urgent, but it's a loss for the sender because Flipkart or Amazon, any e-commerce, they have to send this. It's a rework for them, right? It's a rework because of this partial failure. So again, in this product, they will put into the warehouse again. The next day the delivery will happen, so it's a complete rework for them. So how to, and if it start happening frequently, because it's very normal case, if it happens start frequently, then what in that case what we will do? So they need more optimized scalable tool which can give you this kind of solution. Plus this is the one failure. Second thing is the scalability. Nowadays everyone is moving into the e-commerce, everyone is looking for the service from e-commerce, and the more users you have to more do the message, means the more you're getting products available, you will get more notification you have to send. So and every tool having the bandwidth, you can send 4,000 10,000 messages at a time. But now my bandwidth, my users is getting more, users are getting more, my orders are getting more, so I have to send the notification more to the customer to get interact. This is how, this is very very important for them. All right, sometimes because they offered that you can cancel this order, and it's a loss of business, right? It's a completely loss of effort and the business. So they say they want the scalable tool which can reach, they should not purchase multiple license tool because of this limitation. So they need the multiple, they need a tool which have the higher bandwidth. Like in terms of big data, if we are sending the lakh customer uh, 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 this kind of notification, they can reach it easily, and this partial failure should be closed. This should be solved. So let me, how Kafka works. I will give you the quick demo. The step for the Kafka to so I will go step by step. It will take some time, so bear with me. I'm having the Kafka on my machine, cd home user desktop cd Kafka. You see that this is the path I'm having the Kafka. Okay, so I will skip this two step. First, I will start the Zookeeper. Zookeeper is it is very essential with Kafka. Why Zookeeper is coming? Because Kafka is a stateless. What do you mean by the stateless? Which does not hold any record. Understand? Which does not hold any record. So let's say you are making the transaction and you too maintain the transaction, right, of a bank, of anything which you are looking, but it does not hold any record. So the reason we call it stateless. So if we need this record, then whom? So Zookeeper on behalf of Kafka maintain this. So when you download, when you install Kafka, Zookeeper will come or always come with this package of Kafka. So let me start first Zookeeper. Now it started. I'm opening different terminal. This will treat as a different server. So Zookeeper is running on this server. Okay, this is the local machine, so this is all the port number. Okay, so I will, this is the port, Zookeeper name. So I'm running sorry, again desktop and Kafka. I will start. So okay, I did not say. So technically, and technically, sender is called producer. Okay, let me write it in Kafka. Sender is what called producer. Okay, and receiver is what called consumer. Don't get confused. Okay, consumer. Okay, so I'm using the same thing here. So first I will start, I started Zookeeper, then I will start the Kafka server. Copy. So see here, everything is running on a single. So Kafka login started, and okay. Running on another server. Then what next? Then I will start. I will just one sec. Then I will define what exactly you want to send. Okay, so I will define the topic name that related to this. I want to share the information. We'll discuss more about what exactly topic and all. I'm just following the example what we have discussed. I will send some data from sender and receiver. Okay, now it's fine. Now what next? I will start I will state the producer. Producer, you understand? Means sender. It started. So you see that. I'll minimize this. And cd home user desktop Kafka. I will start here what? Consumer means receiver. Okay. So see here, both ready, sender and receiver. Now we'll start sending the message. Okay. This is sender producer and this is a consumer receiver. See here. Hi. You got it. Hi. Send the message 1. Get the message 1, 2. All right. See here. It's coming. Now I send the message 1, 6. And when I send the message 6, it's failed. Let me down this. It's down. Okay. Receiver is down. So I message 6. Now we'll see that whether it recover the message in the same sequence. I will start again. You see that recover the message in the same sequence when it's down. All the same. To get a clear understanding this kind of issue we are facing. Even if it fail and receiver recover this, it will get this message in that sequence. So that should not be the loss of anything or rework for that. So hope you get the clarity about. This is all the quick demo with the practical, which give the fair idea how this technology is now in industry or the application which you and me are using at the back end, how they fulfill your requirements. So it's very easy to demand, but yeah, sometimes to maintain this all the service, it's very hard to uh, maintain this means escalation, and you should have a top quality of tools to maintain your customer requirement. So this is all what we have to set up, and this is all what we have. Hope you enjoy the session, and yeah.
Yeah, yes. Thank you.